was your Topics back my Raw review for October 27, 2025, and yeah, if it wasn't for that main event, this would have been boring. But still, it wasn't that great. Anyways, it was in the Anaheim Center in Anaheim, California. So yeah, that's where two WrestleManias were at. WrestleMania 12 and WrestleMania 16, which I did earlier this year. So you want to see that WrestleMania 16 review? There's that. Anyways, then we start out with Jey Uso and CM Punk, discussing their Saturday's main event match, and I'm not really excited for it. It could have been somebody else, really, but yeah, they were just confronted about that, and there's that. Anyways, then they show what happened with AJ Styles and Dragon Lee won the tag titles at on Raw last week, and then Dom Woods says they got a problem. Roxanne says they were just talking about Nikki Bella, and Mysterio says it's a bigger problem that Adam Pearce has a vendetta against him, and now Penta and Rusev are having a number one contenders match, and basically there's that, and the winner will face him at Saturday's main event. Which we get to that match, by the way, between Penta and Rusev. It was actually going really good. Until fucking... Why is El Grande in this whole thing? And it's two others. And a no contest, and guess what? This is going to lead to a triple threat between them. A two. It was because of that stupid finish. Anyways, then LNA gets an interview. He talked about, coming up short last week and says he's going to face Braun Breaker next week. Or tonight. My bad. Not next. Oh my god. Which I'm like, really? Again? And then Braun Breaker's talking with Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed. Breaker said he wanted to trust Heyman's plans, but he doesn't get why they didn't go out to the Battle Royal and destroy everyone. And Heyman says Bald Eagle would have suspended them without pay, and there's that. Then it shows video of 10 years of Asuka, there's that. Anyways, then Pierce was on the phone when Finn Balor and Jamie McDonald walks in, and Pierce asks if they know where Dominic Mysterio is because he has some news, but then McDonald's going to face Sheamus later tonight. Yeah. Then Roxanne Perez defeats Nikki Bella. And this led to, Seven Vakir saves the day. And this is going to lead to a tag match between them next week. Don't care. 1 out of 5. Anyways, then Lyra is walking backstage in the Kabuki Warriors. She bumps into them, and Oscar says they would be getting the title opportunity, but Bayley and Valkyria cuts in line them in line. And then Asuka yells and walks up, and everything looks conflicted and all that. And I'm like, I feel like this is gonna lead to something, right? We'll get to that. And Jey Uso is walking backstage, and Jimmy Uso argues and approaches him, angrily approaches him, and Jimmy says he saved Jey when he needs Jey. Only they would about himself if Jey really believes in himself, and there's that. And they talk about Survivor Series coming in November. We obviously know. And then Braun Breaker defeats LA Knight. This was a not that bad of a match. It was a good match still, but I'm getting tired of this whole thing. But still, 3 out of 5 will give it. And yeah. I already talked about the triple threat Saturday main event, and Jimmy Uso is walking when his brother Jay walks in and up to him, and Jay says he heard what he said, and Jimmy is his brother, and there's that. So John Cena's final Raw will take place on November 17th at Madison Square Garden. I will talk about his final match on Saturday's main event, December 13th. Maybe. I mean, it will. Yeah, I will, but still. I only talk about some. If there's something like important I like to talk about, like Goldberg's retirement, which they. Well, no. Well, I'm not going to get into that whole thing. Jamie McDonald defeats Sheamus. Great. Now Sheamus is in the Judgment Vortex. A 2. And then they're going to JD and Finn get a rematch next week. Don't give the belts back to them, please. And then Maxine Priest, she has 2 victories over Becky, and then they're about match some point later, and then Charlotte and Alexa get the interview, and then they get run by the Kabuki Warriors also, and then Charlotte suggests that they fight soon, and Asuka says they're not ready for her. And yeah. There was a poker chip with the year 2026 is shown. Also, I don't know what that for. I already talked about, and there was also some matches next week. And we get the main event, the women's tag team title match between Charlotte and Alexa defeats Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. This was a great match. And Charlotte and Alexa retained, which that's just okay with me. And then afterwards, the Kabuki Warriors attacked them both, which I feel like this is going to lead to a War Games match between Charlotte, Alexa, Bayley, and Lyra versus the Kabuki Warriors and I don't know, maybe put Becky in that spot, perhaps. Maybe. So, this whole match was a great main event, by the way. 4 out of 5. So, there's that. So, yeah. It was better than last week. At least it's within 3 fucking hours like last week. Jesus fucking Christ. But still, it just didn't feel great at all. I'll give it a C, really. So, there's nothing for me to do on tomorrow anyway. So, I'll see you for the 101 episode Showdown, the fallout from WrestleVision. And then Thursday, my second channel, subscribe to the channel. That one, you will see WCW Halloween Havoc 2000, a remaster of that one to wrap up the October reviews. And Friday will be my SmackDown review also on Halloween Day itself. And there's basically that. So, like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel, and notification as well as my signature channel, Tyler's Retro Reviews, so you always know what that is. Halloween Havoc 2000. And there's that. Bye-bye.